what you're really doing is reducing the universe to a mere object. Now that's the way they know things. You ask yourself, why would that be the way that they would say we should all know things? And you should be able to begin to explain that. Look at the nature of Yurugu. Look at the nature of the Asili. What is gained by this emphasis on this object? You see? And then we look at the need for control, right? To alleviate that anxiety that comes from being disconnected. You see? And what is it that you control? You control the object. What is the object? Everything that is other than the knowing self. Okay? And that's the theme that goes throughout. So we're looking for, as you read, look for the spiritual implications of knowing. The spiritual implications of knowing. The spiritual implications of consciousness. What is implied when we talk about consciousness? And if you do that, that'll help you to see what's missing in the European conception and what that conception makes possible. The object, remember I said write in your text too. Don't do both, you know, so that when you come to stuff, you won't be afraid of it. The object is that which disconnects. The object is that which breaks the rhythm. Europeans are disconnected from nature, perceive themselves, experience themselves as being disconnected from nature, from the harmonious order. So their concept of truth must be formed in that image. It's objective, disconnected from everything. Let's see how that object comes to be. Page 31 begins to talk about the concept of the self. Put that on the top of the page. That is necessary if indeed people are going to be moved into what Plato called or considered this literate mode. Now, there is an author here. One of the things I wanted to warn you about, there are a lot of authors that are put in here, and quotes are put in here. Don't let that confuse you. Some of them are supporting certain aspects of my argument. Some of them are examples of what I'm saying the European does. Okay, so you have those two kinds of things. One will be supportive, and the other will be actually examples of how they think and how they talk and so forth. One person that you'll see again and again is Havelock. Okay, Havelock thinks that Plato was excellent. Plato was a revolutionary. Plato brought people to another level of sophistication and knowledge and civilization and so forth, okay? And the way that he did it was to take people from an oral modality, poetry and so forth, and move them to the literate mode, which is the object, which is the objective mode, okay? Plato was doing that because that would give the state a certain kind of control. Again, the oral modality was based on a symbolic understanding of reality. The literate was based on the object. It was one-dimensional. Now, why does Plato do this? As you read the text, you'll see over and over again, he's talking about, and Havelock talks about the same thing, that the most important thing that can happen is for the knower to become independent of that which he, and Plato would only say it could be a he, wishes to know. An object is that which you are totally separated from, have no feeling for. The object is an it, a thing. You can control an it and a thing. Remember, what they need is what? What does the Asili do? Control. Power, a sense of power. What do you have control over? The object. So what you have to see in the text is, how was the literate mode going to help them in this creation of the object? Be something that you just put there, and once you put it there, that's what it is. It can't be anything else. You know, it's not even open to interpretation. It just is. One-dimensional. Jiri so, the first level. Okay? So that's the argument that is taking place in these first pages. Also, how Plato, if you look on page 32, how Plato compartmentalizes the person.